Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-minute Marvel video. I'm Petter, and as you can see off to the side here, we have the titles for Ironheart. And we also have the release schedule for Ironheart. We're going to talk about the titles and what they might mean, including a little detail in the second to last episode. But I want to talk about the release schedule first, because I think that this is a very interesting release schedule. Now, Marvel has dropped all of a live action show, on a single day before. They did that with Echo, and that was great. I had a lot of fun being able to binge and watch that all. But here now it's split over 2 weeks. They could have, just looking at the schedule, done the 3-episode drop and then a single one each day after, or each week after, I should say, which would have put them at about the 15th of July, which would have led them straight into Fantastic Four. I think that they want to give Fantastic Four room to breathe, which is kind of the idea of placing this here. And they could have gone earlier with Ironheart, but I think they also wanted to give Thunderbolts Asterisk room to breathe as well, for people to go to the theaters for that one. Now, I think that worked out kind of. You'll probably hear a lot about not so great numbers for it, and it's not great. It's not Spider-Man numbers. It's not pushing 1 billion. But I do think that eventually the very tired narrative of how well things are doing is going to go away, because you have to look at it in a post-COVID lens. But that, I think they wanted to try and give both films room. And that's kind of why they went with this schedule. So let's talk about the titles here, because we have the first 3 being Take Me Home, Will the Real Natalie Please Stand Up, We in Danger, Girl. So, what do I think that those 3 are probably going to be focused on in terms of plot? The rumor is that this takes place a couple months after the events of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So it's going to be kind of out of phase. I know that's Marvel's phase wording, but it's going to be out of alignment with where it falls in the timeline. This one actually will drop in earlier. So I think the Take Me Home is probably kind of after the events of Wakanda Forever, and the suit being like, I want to kind of go back and create my own. And I think that's where she's going to then run into trouble. She's going to create some things out there, and that's where she's going to come across the Hood. Basically, she knows how good her suit can be, but she doesn't have the tools available to her that were available in Wakanda. And so she's going to try and create kind of that on her own, but with the help, with the funds from the Hood. Then realizing that no, the Hood actually is excuse me, the Hood is after the suit. The Hood, Parker Robbins, doesn't really care about her. He wants it for some bigger job, something else that he's supposed to do. Then, the next 3 after that are Bad Magic, Karma's a Glitch, and The Past is the Past. And I think this is going to be probably where she realizes that she went in with the wrong crowd, and she can't beat them necessarily, or they've augmented her technology with magic. And now she has to figure out how to beat them with them having access to her technology. The line from the trailer of kind of break yourself down and build yourself back up again to understand who you truly are, I think is also going to pertain kind of to her suit. She's going to try and shortcut it in the first 3 episodes, realize the consequences of it, and maybe who's a bigger threat behind the hood, and then, or like who Parker Robbins got his powers from, and then eventually it's going to be her now being willing to let go of trying to recreate what she tasted in Wakanda. And I think kind of going away from the idea that she wants to be iconic. I think there's a great argument to be made, or a great statement to be made, that to be truly iconic, you can't want to be iconic. You can't try and make it happen. It just has to happen on its own. And when her focus changes to protecting people, then I think that we're going to see that she's no longer trying to be iconic, but she becomes an icon. She becomes a true hero that kids or people look up to. Now, there is a little thing to note on Karma's a glitch. The M in Karma. I don't have... Actually, I might be able to do it this way. This is going to get funky real fast here. Karma's a glitch. You can see a little red outline around it. This, of course, has led to speculation that we're going to have Mephisto in the show. Mephisto was name-dropped in Agatha all along. And there have been rumors for a little while now, I mean, since the filming of Ironheart, that Sacha Baron Cohen is going to be in this film, and he's going to be playing Mephisto. And I personally think that would be a great casting. I also think it would be a really good time to bring in that sort of character, because that sort of character could play in a Scarlet Witch movie if that happens. I think something like a Scarlet Witch movie that kind of is the culmination of Wanda's arc and bringing her back to the MCU could really benefit from a character like Mephisto as the villain, or a Midnight Suns movie. And this show, I think, could benefit from that as well. What we've seen of Parker Robbins thus far, the Hood, he doesn't seem like the top dog. He's trying to be the top dog in what he does, but he seems to kind of be focused on maybe smaller things, and getting the suit, getting Riri involved with his gang, that maybe is leading up to the big score. But I think the big score, it's going to kind of be something that needs to be done for a quote-unquote patron of sorts. The idea that somebody has blessed him with these powers, the powers of the Hood, and he gets them, but he has to do something for this individual. To me, that creates a nice little depth to the character. Though, I mean, he shouldn't be a good character. He made a deal, potentially, with Mephisto, with the devil. And you don't come back from making a deal with the devil to be good right away. That takes a lot of work. And I don't think he necessarily is a character who wants to be good, either. I think he's fine with that. He just wanted more power to be able to do what he wanted to do and run the gang that he wanted to run. So having a patron like Mephisto and going after some sort of MacGuffin that they needed, Ironheart's technology for, that infusion, that conjunction of technology and magic. I think that that's a great kind of plot for the story and a great little thing to unfold as you really start to understand who the Hood is and the motivations for it. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of these titles? And do you think that M in Karma is actually going to be for Mephisto? But that, appreciate you checking out the videos. We're going to be talking about these episode titles on this upcoming 10-Minute Marvel podcast. So join us for that and speculation around Ironheart. You can find the podcast here on YouTube. First, click onto the channel, subscribe, and click that notification bell if you haven't already. And we appreciate everybody who has subscribed and everybody who's checking out the videos. We've hit 350. That was a nice little milestone and fun call out for the person who was subscriber number 350 down in the comments of previous video. And then you can click on the podcast tab to check out the podcast. Or you can search for 10-Minute Marvel wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. But with that, we'll see you next time.